Trent Hidlay, how's your life changed since winning a world championship?
It's been interesting. It kind of feels like the whole last month has been a little bit of a blur. Like you try to soak it up as much as you can, and then there's some moments where you feel like life is totally normal, and then there's some days you're like, damn, I really did that, huh? So it's cool. I mean, it's just been awesome being around the guys on the team here. I feel like that's helped me kind of adjust after winning Worlds, is like just get back in the room with the guys and kind of soak up that energy. So just been kind of trying to pour as much as I can into them to get ready for the NCAA season and take some time off when I can, and just kind of enjoy a nice September into October in Raleigh.
Nice. Was there any more reflection that took place? We caught you off the mat right away, and you were like, that hurt to do, but
Yeah.
I know how to do it. Just what has been playing? Have you played it over in your head since it happened? The match specifically, where you were down 8 points.
I mean, I watched it back a couple of times, and it's funny. Like I don't think I really wrestled all that. I mean, I wrestled well because I just kept wrestling and I didn't quit, and I wrestled it with a lot of effort. But there was a lot of mistakes that were made, so it's like, when you're in those really big matches, it's sometimes the margin for error is so thin, and there's not many times where you get the opportunity to come back from making that many mistakes. So yeah, there's been a lot of reflection, not just on that match, but the whole training cycle leading up to it and how I prepared, how I wrestled the other matches. I think there was a lot of good that I took away from it, and just trying to continue to have the same growth mindset that I've always had. Like, regardless of the result, what did I do well? What can I improve on? And how can I get there? And some of that is just taking some time off and just literally just trying to stay off the mat. I love wrestling so much, and I love getting in here with the guys, but taking some time off the mat and kind of just slowing things down and just continuing to find out who I am as a person, how I can continue to improve, not just as a wrestler, but as a friend and a mentor, as a teammate, as a coach. So just trying to improve when I can. But yeah, there's a lot of reflection that goes by. It's so much intense emotion that to try to feel it all in a day is really hard to do. So when I was in Croatia, that next day, it was like I couldn't even get on my phone. It's just everyone's texting you, and it's such a cool experience because they're like, man, everybody for once, because you come through college and it's like you represent your team, you're wrestling against everybody else, and then you're on the U.S. team and everybody's rooting for you. So it's just kind of cool to soak that up a little bit. It's like you get to represent something so much bigger than what you're used to. But yeah, it's such an intense emotion that it takes a little bit to reflect on it all and to try to get some data from it in terms of a wrestling perspective.
Yeah. What's it been like being in this room as sort of like a mentor figure to the college guys since you graduated? I see you in here. We just finished up a practice. You're cheering guys on.
Yeah.
Getting in guys' ears. What's that been like?
Oh, it's awesome. I love the environment that we've created here at NC State. And I think that's the most important thing, is putting these guys in an environment that they can be successful in. When I came here as a freshman, I was really blessed. We had a lot of RTC guys here with Gwiz and Mock and Tommy Gant. And Timmy McCall, some other guys there that I trained with a lot, and it just helped me so much because I was around elite level guys. I was around how they were wrestling elite level and how they were thinking, what their mindset was, how they were taking their approach to nutrition and just life in general. So the best thing that we can do here at NC State is create an environment where guys can be successful, and sometimes that's me getting in the room and talking to them and sharing my experience, and sometimes it's me wrestling with them and trying to share technique or tactics, or sometimes just beat up on them. But I love being around them because their energy is so good. When you're in college, it's just, you're young, you have so much aspirations to do great things, and to stay around that is really important for me. To see these guys go through the grind of college wrestling is something that I don't necessarily miss, but I try to put myself in there a lot just to feel that pain, to feel the grind of what that's like.
Yeah, I see you guys. You work hard. You're working really hard. Guys were really pushing themselves hard today, in an environment that seems hard to separate yourself in. Mm-hmm. You guys have kept really strong relationships with, like, even people that have transferred out. Usually, there's a lot of bad blood involved in transfers, but NC State, a common thread I was talking with my coworkers, is like, feels like you guys keep really good relationships even with guys who transfer out and go on to have success elsewhere. Why do you think that is?
Well, I think it all comes down to relationships. I think some of the elite level coaches understand that relationships are key, and with when Zach Esposito and Jameel Kelly came in here, it was kind of a little bit of turnover on staff. And I think the biggest thing is maintaining those relationships. You never know when guys on your team are, going through a rough patch, or maybe they're doing really, really well in wrestling, but they're struggling a lot. So being able to understand, I think, the athletes and understand your teammates is such a valuable thing. And when you form those relationships, they last for life. That's one of the beauties about wrestling is, you go through one of these training sessions with somebody together, and you go through that grind. There's not a lot that you wouldn't do for that guy. So I think that's an important part of the culture here at NC State is building and maintaining and establishing those relationships, and you're there for your brothers and your teammates whenever they need you.
At Worlds, I talked to you before the World Championships.
Mm-hmm.
I pitched you a vision. I said, look, man, you win a World Championships. What are the odds you celebrate with a hoagie?
Oh, the hoagie.
You forgot. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know if you forgot, but has anyone brought that up to you since?
Well, believe it or not, it's hard to get good hoagies in Croatia. That's more of a Northeast USA type thing. So no, believe it or not, that was the last thing on my mind.
I do believe that. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, I made a video, behind the scenes video, and I pointed out something that was really resonant with me was the fact that you are usually like an extreme celebrator.
Yeah.
You have a hard time keeping yourself from hitting yourself, but your celebration after the Worlds was a little bit different. Why do you think that was?
I think just because of just the match situation, and I said in one of the post-match interviews, it kind of felt like that entire match was it was like a reflection of my wrestling style and just my career in a kind of a nutshell. And it just felt like, I remember like when the time hit 0 and I was laying there, you kind of look up and I was kind of like smiling, like I was almost like couldn't stop laughing. So it was like how crazy was that? And I kept looking at the scoreboard and I'm like, did I really is that score, I kept waiting for it to change or look over and something happened. And then it just settles in. It's like, dude, you just won. You won like that. And like I said, there's so much emotions. And when you're walking on the mat and you stand up, it seems like everything kind of freezes. And in my mind, you just replay all of the shortcomings that you have. You replay just all the times that the sport breaks you down, and you realize how worth it is to keep pushing through. And I feel like that's something I always tried to do was no matter how close I got or how many failures I dealt with, I always tried to just pick myself up and just keep moving forward. And like I said, when you stand up and you're looking around, it's like time kind of freezes and there's a lot of reflection of, Ben, there was just so much sacrifice and hard work, and not just on my end, but my coaches and my family. For it all to come together like that it was so emotional. And you turn around, you kind of just fall down. It's like, dude, this is so cool. I've always wanted this feeling. I've been working so hard for this my entire life, and you finally get a taste of it, and it's just so sweet.
Yeah, that's awesome. National duels coming up. I'm a big part of why I'm here is talk to you guys about, talk to the NC State guys, obviously, about that opportunity. Do you wish you were able to compete in an event like that when you were in college?
Oh, so much. I love the duels. I love the idea of the national duels. And if you look at NC State in the past decade, we've been such a strong duel team. And we've had some pretty good NCAA tournament success, but one of the cornerstones of this program is we're going to put the 10 guys on the mat that are really competitive. And even, the guys that might not get all the national, praise or the notoriety in the rankings, they go out there and they scrap. And a lot of times those are the guys that save the dual meets. So for the sport to be displayed on such a meaningful level, I think out of the 10 guys that you put out there is so cool. I'm going to be on the broadcast with JD, I think, so yeah. I'm ready to bring I just found that out the other day.
That's awesome.
I'm so excited for it. I can't wait to watch these guys and the other teams wrestle. I think it's the best way that we showcase our sport. Obviously, NCAA's it's awesome, it's chaotic, it's emotional, but to do it, and you're going to see it in national duels, the guys on the team when they go out there and they compete, it's a brotherhood, and you're going to see guys on the bench just going crazy and hyping up their guys and carrying them off the mat. It's going to be awesome. So my hope is that everybody can kind of get there healthy. It's a hard time. it's always going to be hard to pick what time it is, but the programs that love to compete are going to be there and they're going to put out, and it's going to be really cool. I'm super excited for it.
Speaking of that, you guys are going to have another program that notoriously loves to compete.
Yeah.
First round, NC State versus UNI. What do you think about that matchup?
It's awesome. And like you said, it's two programs in my mind when you think of tough, gritty, do it the right way, strong culture wrestling. It's Northern Iowa and NC State, so it's a blue collar battle. And I love that. Those guys always bring it. They're always going to be ready to wrestle. Coach Schwab does an amazing job with it. Just their culture is super strong. You know how close they are, and like I said, with these duels, it means something. It means something to be close with your teammates and battle for each other. And I know that the NC State guys take a lot of pride in that too. So when you get two programs like that going together, it's going to be you're going to see a lot of passion, I think, a lot of effort, and that's really the best wrestling you can watch.
That's awesome, man. Anything else, Trent? What's next for you?
Well, I got engagement pictures tomorrow with my fiance. We got engaged last February, and that's why I got a nice haircut. I got to shave my face, but
Congrats.
Yeah, we're gonna get some cool pictures tomorrow. I'm gonna head down to Super 32 on Sunday to watch some good wrestling, but just try to stay off my feet a little bit in October, and obviously practice and train and help these guys. But with freestyle, the crazy thing is about this, like I could realistically not wrestle until June of next year, which is crazy. That's not me. That's not who I'm gonna be, right? But I'm gonna compete probably. I imagine maybe once in November or December, and then get ready for some ranking series tournaments, and just continue to get back in the room with Jameel Kelly. We've got a good plan of like breaking down the world championships. Where do I need to improve on? Well, I know there's some areas I got to improve on. I got to make sure I don't get chest wrapped 3 times in the first period. Like just little things like that I've got to tighten up. And we'll get back into the room. We'll get back to training. But right now it's just enjoy life, enjoy coaching these guys as much as I can, and being a good mentor for them. And just trying to build good men. Good wrestlers is important. But building good men and being a good mentor for these guys is the best thing I can try to do for them. So just excited for these next few months and get back into training and eventually compete. But yeah, just help out NC State become good again.
Well, I appreciate your time, Trent. Good luck with the engagement photos. Good timing. You don't have any black eyes or anything.
I know, right?
So.
I got out of here unscathed today.
That's right. All right, man. Thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you.